have to do with solving. So this little diagram, you've seen it before in the first set of notes, but we didn't really talk about it after that. So whenever you are solving equations, which you're trying to get x by itself, you're trying to get the value of what x actually is, or whatever variable you have. You need to know the inverse operation. So if you see addition, you do subtraction, subtraction, addition. If you see multiplication, you do division. And then if you see division, you do multiplication. Doing the opposite undoes the equation, which lets you or helps you get to x. When you're doing PEMDAS, so you don't do PEMDAS with solving, that's a common misconception. But if you want to think of PEMDAS, you really just do PEMDAS in reverse. So you start with addition, subtraction, and then honestly just really multiplication and division with these equations. So for number one, something that you can do for solving, and this is completely optional, but you can draw a line through the equal sign. This helps you better see the left and the right side. So you have stuff on the left of in this case, the blue line, and then you have stuff on the right of the blue line. Your goal in all of these problems is to get x by itself. So the first 4 questions are just the operation so that you can see how to undo them. So with the x, if I want to get the x by itself, I have to get rid of the -1 because that's what's with the x on the left. So if I have a -1, the opposite would be to add 1. And if you do it to one side, you have to do it to both sides. 1 minus 1 is 0, so we can just cross that out. And I can bring down the x, the equal sign, that never goes away, and then 3 plus 1 is 4. This is your final answer. If you ever need to check your answer on your calculator, you take what you got. In this case, we take the 4 and you plug it into this equation. So what that would look like, and you don't have to write this down, but we have x, so this would be 4, minus 1 is equal to 3. This one you can do in your head, but just so that you know how to do it, you type the whole thing in, and the calculator always gives you true or false. If you do get false, sometimes it could be that you typed in the problem wrong, so just double check that. But if you typed everything in correctly and it still falls, then your answer is not correct. Okay, number 2, I'm going to draw my line, and I am getting x by itself. So in this problem, the plus 5 is with the x, so we have to get rid of that. The opposite of plus 5 is to subtract 5. Negative 12 minus 5 is negative 17. Okay, number 3. For this one, we have to get rid of the 5. So the 5 and the x right now are multiplying because there's nothing there, so that's a little times. So the opposite of multiplying by 5 is to divide by 5. So we do divide by 5. Do not change the sign, so don't divide by negative 5. You divide and multiply by whatever number you see. So this one, 5 divided by 5 is just 1, so this is 1x. Typically, when there's an x there, I cross them out. You don't have to. So 1x equals, and then 30 divided by 5 is 6. Okay, the next one, the x is on the right side. That doesn't matter. We're still trying to get x by itself, whether it's the left or the right side. So here, we got to get rid of the 2. When you have a fraction, this is like saying x divided by 2. So the opposite of dividing by 2 is to multiply by 2. The way you set it up, you put a times, and you put the 2 here, times the 2. On the right side, the 2 is considered to be on the top of the fraction, even though it's not here or here. But that ends up causing these to cancel, because 2 divided by 2 is a 1. Even though there's a times, that's how you think of it. So always just cross it out. We have x is equal to, and then 2 times negative 10 is negative 20. Okay, number 5. So now we're going to see problems that have more than one step. So we still are trying to get x by itself. So in this one, we want to get rid of the 3 and the 9. So the way that you know which one goes first, this is where PEMDAS backwards comes in. And you're going to hear me say this very often. Do addition and subtraction first. So here we have plus 9. So the opposite would be minus 9. So now I have 3x is equal to 27. Still trying to get x by itself. So after you do addition and subtraction, if you have it, then you do multiplication or division. The 3 is multiplying right now, so we're going to divide by 3. And we have x is equal to positive 9. Number 6, we are going to add or subtract first. So the minus 10 is the one that we're going to do, so plus 10, opposite. So I have 30 is equal to negative 5x. And that negative 5 is multiplying. It's a times. So to get rid of the negative 5, the opposite of multiplying is to divide. And if it's a negative 5, it stays negative 5 because we are dividing. Dividing, multiplying, just keep whatever number you have. So this is negative 6. And then the last two on here are very similar. So here we have to get rid of the 9 and the 3. But addition and subtraction is first. The plus 3 is considered to be outside of the fraction, so we do that first, so minus 3. So we have 2 is equal to x divided by 9. And then to get rid of the 9, we multiply by 9. That's the opposite. So this is 18. Number 8 is different because the x plus 3 is considered to be at the top of the fraction. So the plus 3 is no longer on the side, it's at the top. What you cannot do is minus 3 because you're just writing over a fraction. That doesn't make sense. So this is kind of the exception to adding and subtracting first. So the first step here is we want to make the problem have no fraction anymore. So to get rid of the fraction, we have to get rid of the 9. The 9 is divided by 9, so we're going to do times 9. So now I have 45 is equal to, that's just x plus 3. Now that I have this to get x by itself, now I get rid of the plus 3 by subtracting 3. So x is equal to 42. And it doesn't matter that the x is on the right. As long as it's by itself, that's all that matters. Okay, for the back. So now we're going to combine pretty much the last notes and the first half of today's notes. So we're going to go ahead and simplify both expressions on each side of the equal sign by doing what we did before. So before we distributed, so distribute if there are parentheses and then combine like terms on the same side of the equal sign. After you do that, we're going to do what we did today with the first few problems, which is to add or subtract your coefficient to get rid of it. And then after that, multiply or divide. Most of the time you'll divide to remove the coefficient, but every now and then you'll multiply. So for number 1, really I want for you to think of 4 steps. So I'll number them. So step 1 is to distribute. If there's parentheses, for this one we don't have any. Step 2 is to combine like terms. So on the right, we just have a 7. So there's nothing to combine. And then on the left, I can combine these two. Remember, when I say combine, just do exactly what you see. So this is 3 plus 10, which is 13x. And then we still have minus 6. Okay, step number 3 is add or subtract. So step 3 and 4 is where you're trying to get x by itself. So we're going to add or subtract, so I can do plus 6. And then step 4 is to multiply or divide. So the 13 is what we need to get rid of. The 13 is multiplying, so we're going to divide by 13. So 13 divided by 13, this is going to be 1x. And then please don't do this. When you don't have a variable, so there's no x there, just divide it. 13 divided by 13 is 1. Okay, number 2. Step 1 is to distribute, which we cannot. Step 2 is to combine like terms, so I can do these two. Negative 4 minus 3 is negative 7x. And then I can also combine these two. Negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3. Okay, step 3, that's where we start getting x by itself. Add or subtract if you can. So we're going to do plus 3. And then step 4 is multiply or divide. You will never add or subtract, you will never add there or subtract and then come here and do add or subtract again back to back. That's never going to happen. So if you find yourself doing that, please double check. This -7 is multiplying with the x, so we divide it, and we get -4. Okay, number 3, first step is to distribute. So we can distribute it to -5. So we have 15, this becomes -20x, positive 35. That's step 1. Step 2 is combine like terms. So I can combine these two. This is a positive 15 plus a 35, which gives me 50. Okay, this kind of problem is going to come up on the assignment that goes with this. So when it comes time for step 3, add or subtract, you're not going to move the 1 with the x. If there's another number, which there is, you take care of this one first, the one that's apart from the x, by either adding it or subtracting. So this 50 is positive, so we're going to subtract it. So now I have this is equal to 0. And then you still keep going. Step 4 is multiply or divide. Since we are multiplying, the opposite is to divide by -20. So 0 divided by -20 is 0. That is your answer. Next one, step 1 is distribute that -1/3, which gives me -3x minus 14. Bring everything else down. And then step 2 is combine like terms. On the same side, I can combine this one and this one. So -3 minus 5 is -8x. Step 3 is add or subtract to get the x by itself. So I'm going to do plus 14 and then step 4 is multiply or divide. That is multiplying, so we divide by -8. The answer is positive 7. And then number 5, we distributed step 1, so we distribute that. So we have 21r minus 7. And then this negative here is a negative. Anytime you see a negative without a number, put a 1 there. So this is minus 1r minus 5. Step 2 is combine like terms. So I can combine these two. 21 minus 1 is positive 20. And I can combine these two. -7 minus 5 is -12. Step 3 is add or subtract to get r by itself. So we have a plus 12. And then step 4 is multiply or divide. This is multiplying, so we're going to divide by 20. R is equal to -2. The last two questions, the next one's a perimeter question. So when you're looking for the equation, the way we do perimeter is you add up all the sides. I want to use distribution here because that's what we've been doing. So this side right here, we have 2 of these because these are the same. So the way we're going to use distribution is we put a 2 because it's 2 of them, and we have 2 of these. 2 of the 3.5x plus 2. Then I also have 2 of these in purple. So I'm going to come to the bottom because I don't have space. So plus 2, 1.5x minus 1. And then when I add, that's counting all the 4 sides because I have 2 and then 2. So all 4 sides, the perimeter gives me, it says 22 in the problem. That is your equation. And then for the solution, you have space at the bottom. You can just solve that. So distribute this first 2, we get 7x plus 4. Then distribute this 2, we get 3x minus 2. And then you do it like the other ones at the top. Combine like terms, I can do these 2. And I can do these 2. 4 minus 2 is positive 2. Step 3 is, and I have the answer at the bottom already, but step 3 is add or subtract, so we can do minus 2. So I have, I'm going to do it, I don't have space, so let me come to the side. So I have 10x is equal to 20. And then Fourth step is multiply or divide. So the answer, x is equal to 2. That's the solution. Number 7, we're looking for area. For the area of a rectangle, we do length times width. So this side times this side. And I'm going to put the 2 first because it's just a number. So 2 times x plus 2, length times width is equal to 88. That's the area. So this one's quicker to do. We distribute. We get 2x plus 4. We cannot combine like terms, so there's nothing to combine. Step 3 is add or subtract. And then step 4 is multiply or divide. So we divide by 2, and the answer is 42. And then on section 1 of the assignment, questions like this one kept coming up, so that's why I'm showing it. Okay, I'll do that. So first step, distribute, we can't. Second step, combine like terms, there's nothing to combine. So step 3. So remember, we're trying to get this one by itself. So actually, just so there's no confusion, let me just put a different number. I'll put 3. So we are between, do we get rid of the 5 or the 3? Always start from the numbers further away from the x if you want to think of it like that. So we are going to start with the 5. Because the 5 we're able to either add or subtract it. So the 5, if you look here in the front, there's no negative, so it's a positive 5. So we're going to subtract it. So we have 7 minus 5 is 2. And then the negative. Put the negative with the 3 at the bottom. So you can just say x over negative 3. This just makes it easier to see. That way you don't get confused. Okay, so we added or subtracted, and then step 4 is multiply or divide. Right now we're dividing by negative 3. So the opposite is to multiply. And even if it's negative, you keep whatever number it is. When you're multiplying and dividing, don't switch the sign. These cancel. So 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. That's pretty much what I wanted you to see.